everybody. Welcome to Slogan's Rock and Metal Extravaganza. This is the start of our John Sykes tribute called Let's Get Syked, John Sykes' career retrospective. And we're going to start off from the very beginning, and we're going to talk about the band he was in early on in his career called Streetfighter. And then we're going to move on to the Tygers of Tang. So a little bit of a brief little history. So yeah, he started off in this band called Streetfighter. He recorded one song with them. I believe it was a single on the compilation. It wasn't a single, I guess. It was on a compilation album of all these British bands, and this band Streetfighter was on there. He left after that to join Tygers, and they did an EP without him that he wasn't on. We're not going to get into that because this is more focused on John. So we're just going to talk about that one song. So yeah, he was in a band called Streetfighter that released this one song on a metal compilation. And yeah, then he moved on to Tygers. So yeah, we'll start with that. And we'll we'll start off with Logan today. So Logan, you want to?
Switching it.
I know Danny doesn't like being first all the time. So
here's the band logo.
There's the band logo.
Yeah. And this is the album that it's on. New Electric Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah. Maximum Metal. But yeah, She's No Angel. Yeah, it starts John Sykes' recording debut. I don't know if this band's. I didn't listen to the EP. I don't know if you, Sydney, did you listen to it at all?
No, I don't. I will. I'll check it out at some point. But I have.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sure. I wrote down they're a new wave of British heavy metal band. I'm sure they're kind of in that style by this song. So it's a pretty hard rocking song. Sports some great solo work right off the gate. Towards the middle of the song, I really like the solo. There's really solos all the way throughout this track. Really, there's like one at the beginning, just like the middle. Solo. Yeah, the beginning, the middle, and the end. It's just a bunch of solos, pretty much. He has his own unique style down, even on this first recording, song he did. I wrote down, like we were just saying, the last 2 minutes of the song just full of, great guitar. And I think me and Sydney talked about this. It kind of has a UFO feel to it. I could totally, and I even wrote down Thin Lizzy like unison lead lines, which kind of makes sense, knowing where he would go, in a little bit. Yeah, I wrote down it's just like the hard rock coming out at the time. It's great stuff, and I'm glad we decided to cover it. But that's about all I wrote down for it. It's a good tune.
I think he was only like 19 on that.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, wild. Yeah. That's all I gotta say about that, I guess. So.
All right, so Danny, you wanna?
Oh, we're gonna do song by song, or
we'll just the Streetfighter one. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Logan took some of the words right out of my mouth. I wrote down John really gets to play around a lot on this, and he's doing a lot of fast pentatonic riffs. Singer is slightly reminiscent of Phil Moog, UFO. In the main solo, John really tears it up with some minor scales and pentatonic licks. Really fun song. That's what I got on this one. So great. It was a good song. I didn't know he was 19. I didn't know it was his debut. Great job.
Yeah. For that to be your debut, it was just crazy. Some 19-year. I think he was, John Sykes. He was only, 1959. That came out in 1980. So depending on time that came out, and you got to remember, it was probably recorded earlier. So he was either 19, 20 at the very most. So I'm pretty sure I read that he was 19. It's just crazy.
And he's already got his sound, really, Yeah,
well, even on the Tiger stuff is 81, so he's only like 20 years old on these Tiger albums. It's just
crazy.
This guy sounds like he's been playing for years. Like, it's crazy.
Yep.
So it's pretty much the same thing. Sounded like a UFO song to me. It's great introduction to his guitar playing. It's very Michael Schenker in the guitar. And I thought it would have probably fit on the UFO album, Force It. That kind of era, or even Phenomenon. But for me, Force It, you throw that on there and fits right in. It's that sound and that style. And he does his, I guess it's more the way he sings, right? The singer he has that Phil Moog way of like singing. Not so much the voice itself, but maybe like the way he sings. Got a very good bluesy voice. I don't know whatever he ever amounted to, but it was just a great song, great way. Guitar throughout it. I was surprised. It was my first time hearing it. I never listened to it, and I figured, well, we got to include it because it's the start of his career, so just included anyways. And
yeah, I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did because I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he left and they did an EP without him, but yeah, it's rest is history. But yeah, it was a great song, great way to start his career, and back to Logan to discuss all of Spellbound.
All right, so so this is Tygers' second album, which they released Wildcat in 1980, I believe. So and that had a different singer too, Jess Cox, I think his name was.
Jesse Cox.
Yeah, Jesse Cox. Yeah, which people have differing opinions on the dude because of his vocals. It doesn't bother me too much on that record. I think you can hear the seeds of a good band starting on that album, and then maybe they fixed a couple I don't know, loose ends, if you want to say
John,
that.
right?
Yeah, and yeah, John, and then you get the singer, what's his name, Devereaux, John Devereaux, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say his last name wrong. I didn't know how you said it, so.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Just wow, yeah, John Devereaux. I mean, I like that other guy, but Devereaux's just a whole nother level of a singer, man. He's got his foot directly in that Coverdale and Plant kind of vocal style, But yeah, so this is the record, Spellbound. Which I will probably never own a physical copy of this due to money. Maybe one day. It's pretty expensive, to say the least.
What
but yeah,
Chris
Stangarides.
What's the average cost of that?
What'd you say, Dan? I was cutting out.
The cost of that album, do you think?
I found one for like $70 or $80, really, on record.
Damn.
So, yeah. But that was both of them. They had both of them together on that. So I guess, yeah, that's still quite a lot for. I mean, you're paying $40 for both of them. So, but yeah, and they made I might as well show this too. They got it on Spotify. They made a compilation of the MCA years, and it's just the Crazy Nights cover. But
and they threw the
yeah,
MCA
that's got some bonus tracks. Yeah, it's kind of, it's kind of cheap. Looks a little cheap, but on Amazon, which this isn't too bad, I guess. It's $80 for 5 CDs because you get the first 4.
Oh, okay, it's not too bad.
And then you get a live album that's like it got a bunch of unreleased live stuff like BBC sessions, live at Reading Festival. So yeah, yeah, it's cool stuff. But I'll get into Spellbound. Chris Stangarides produced this album, which he worked with I know he worked on Sad Wings of Destiny by Judas Priest. I think he worked on a couple other albums in the heavy metal vein. I just don't remember them off the top of my head. That's the one I remembered. Got to number 33 on the UK albums charts and 44 on the Swedish charts. Didn't make a dent in America or Canada, so
no,
which it isn't a shocker, I guess. But and I wrote down the band members. Rob Weir's obviously the founding guitar player. Richard Rocky Laws and Brian Big Dick on drums, and of course, John Sykes comes in here. But yeah,
did he have a big drumstick?
I guess Richard had a little name, so they had to put something in front of Brian's name too.
Oh God!
But yeah, this album starts, man. Waste no time, just hits you right in the face. With a killer heavy riff. Gangland. John Devereaux's great vocals fit the music just perfectly on the song. Love the chorus line. If you mess around with fire, you're gonna get yourself burned. It's just killer, man. Some fiery solo playing. Pretty sure Sykes starts this record out on here. It's got some tapping and some speedy pentatonic licks like we were talking about earlier. And I was surprised to see Creator actually covered this song way in 87 or 88. Yeah. Which, they're a German thrash band, but I could see that kind of because this tune is
really
it's on the border of becoming, it's on the border of becoming a thrash tune kind of. Yeah, it's just a great way to introduce Sykes and, also Devereaux. So that's what I said about that one. And then we'll go to track 2, which is Take It. Get more a mid-paced tune with some great guitar work from Sykes. John playing on the riff, Devereaux playing on the riff for his vocal melody on the song. Love the pre-chorus that just flows nicely into the, he screams the title track. song's already showing the diversity of Devereaux's vocal stylings. He sounds pretty different compared to Gangland on here, to me. Great bluesy solo, which I think Rob Weir kicks this one off, and Sykes complements it with some great, speedy guitar work. I think that's the real joy of these two albums, because you get the diversity of the players on here. Love the trade-offs between the guys on this one. It's just another great track. That's what I wrote down about Take It. I put Minotaur and Hellbound together.
Yeah.
Because they should have been together anyways. Minotaur is what, 20 some seconds of feedback.
23.
Yeah. Which, I guess it could have been a nice intro to Hellbound. Song starts with a great fast charged riff. It's kind of got that classic metal riff that you think of, like on Riot, Swords and Tequila, or 2 Minutes to Midnight by Iron Maiden. Yeah. They both kind of have a similar riff. I think what sets this one apart is the great chorus with the hanging guitar chords and Devereaux's great soaring vocal, man. Just a hard rock anthem, in my opinion. Great Sykes soloing, really showing off his skills. And then him and Rob jump into this unison lead line. It's just amazing stuff, man. Yeah, and I wrote down, if you can't tell yet, this album's pretty damn awesome. So, yeah, it's another winner in my book. Then we'll get to Mirror, which is another different flavor of the record. Get a ballad type tune with some cool guitar lines and keyboards played by Chris Tangrides, I've seen. So he plays keyboards on this song. He plays keyboards on this song and the last track, I think, on the actual album. This song really lets Devereaux shine. Love the changing dynamics in this song. First half is laid back and calm, and it features some cool melodic lead lines in this section, which I didn't write down who that could be, because I think that could be either one of them. This song kind of confused me on that. I couldn't tell. Like we were talking about before we went live. John could play like that too. So, but man, like about 2 minutes into this song, the song starts getting heavier. John's vocals start getting more aggressive, all building up to, he does that great scream before some great soloing. I think Sykes does that last solo. And I wrote down, I think this song is pretty heavily inspired by Deep Purple and Rainbow. It's got that kind of feel to it.
Okay.
Doesn't sound far removed from something those bands would have done in the 70s to me. I think it's a great side closing track that, finishes off a great side of the record. And we get Silver and Gold, two things I'll never have. Got a cool riff, some cool descending guitar chords in the background, building up suspense before John comes in. Starts the song with one of them like heavy metal all rights. We're off on this tune. Really love the bass work on the chorus of this song. You really get to hear the prominent bass on this one. A couple songs on these albums, he kind of shows up. Probably like it more than the chorus itself. I think the chorus kind of repeats maybe a little too much for me. It's not bad, because I really like that short solo in this one. It's got I think he's playing with a wah pedal, I believe. Sounds like. Right. Yeah, I thought so. Still a very fun and enjoyable deep cut on this album for me. And it finishes, with that awesome big band ending. They like to do that. So I got Blackjack next, which I think is how it originally was. Because I know it switches.
Really?
Yeah, they switched Blackjack and Tiger Bay for the CD release.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just went by Wikipedia. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Blackjack next on Wikipedia? I don't even know.
Yeah, because that's what I have written down too. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so we'll just keep going with that. I think Blackjack might be my favorite on this album. Love that opening riff that sticks around the verses. I don't know if you guys hear this, but I hear a little Alex Lifeson from the first Rush album in that riff. I could see that being on the first kind of sounds like that. Yeah. It's just got that kind of tone on the opening. Yeah, some great guitar and bass complementing on the chorus section with some ascending lines. I love Devereaux's delivery on the vocal on this one as well. He's got full of swagger, Great Sykes solo too on this one. Really brings the whole track up another notch to me. We were talking about that before we went on too. Some of these songs, I think Sykes just elevates them to another level sometimes. It's got a great ending to this one with Sykes playing that note really high up on the fretboard and the band crashes in. It's just a great rocker. And we get to the story so far, which I started my notes off with single alert because this totally should have been a single. I mean, wow. Yeah. And I said totally has a UFO vibe in it right from the start.
Yeah.
Especially in the lead at the start of this tune. I think this tune shows that the band could write songs aimed more towards a commercial audience, which they'd explore more on the next couple records. Really like the lyrics on this one, just about living for the moment type thing. I wrote down some lines. He says, like, don't think about the future. I don't know what it holds. Just live the life you want. Never lose your soul. You know, it's cool stuff, man. Great unison leads in the middle of this track. Really another great tune that fades with Deverell and Sykes kind of playing off each other. He's doing some like higher notes and Sykes is playing some higher shit. Yeah, just, you know, it's great track, man. Could have been a single. I don't think any singles were put out from this record, which that's just a shame to me. But yeah, we'll get to Tiger Bay now, which it's another personal favorite of mine from this band. Really, starts with a smoking riff. John Deverell gives a great heavy vocal on this one, really showing off his dexterity for soaring high notes like in the chorus versus the lower gritty vocal he gives in the verses. And then his vocal in the chorus kind of just fades away into the music really nicely when he holds that Tiger Bay, you know. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the second chorus fades. We get some great soloing from Sykes, building up and up on the scales before we return to the chorus. Yeah, and I could see this being a great concert song. I'm sure they still play it, you know, even if it's not. I think Rob Weir's still in this band. I don't think anybody else is original. Yeah. So
it should be an opener, right? It's called Tiger Bay. It should be your theme song.
That's like that's like a semi-title track, really, or like band track when you think about it. So we get "Don't Stop By," which is another very different styled song on this album. Kind of like dramatic. And I got like that palm muted guitar lines at the start with the timpani drums. Gives a nice dramatic feel. And the track breaks into a heavy mid-tempo part before the chorus slows it down. And it switches back and forth between those dynamics a lot. Great emotive vocals from John on this one. Another heavy Schenker influenced solo on this track, but the guys do some great unison leads as well. Sounds so cool on this track, especially. I think the unison lines work well on this one. And I love how it ends returning to that starting, so it kind of like comes full circle in a way. I think it's a great way to close off a classic, and it's one of the best records to come out of that period of music to me. Yeah. I don't know if you want me to rate it, or are we just gonna wait till?
No, we're not gonna rate it. It's just.
If
you want, man. If you want, probably, you don't have to. But
I'd probably give it a solid 9, man. I really love this album. Yeah. But
nice.
Yeah, that's what I had to say. So we'll go over to Danny now.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
We'll do the bonus tracks at the end, right? So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're starting with Gangland, aren't we?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
This song for me had a Kill the King vibe, like Rainbow's Kill the King. Drum, it has the speed, the swiftness of it. Perhaps this is a little slightly faster. I said, holy smokes. John takes the solo. Yeah, he's mixing minor scales and pentatonic, and even doing a few hammer-ons and tapping. This is a heavy rock classic. I really like this song. That's where I left it. Take It. John just one off. I'm assuming it's John. Excuse me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to know, right?
This one starts off with a great guitar riff. How about that? And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful heavy guitar tone. The verses are melodic and memorable. The solo starts off with pentatonic licks and lots of pinch harmonics. Oh man, the second half of it really elevates and is smoking. I mean, it's the highlight of the song, like we talked about earlier. This is very much Schenker-esque for me. He's just tearing it up. This song ends in a classic concert-like ending. You know, the ba-dum.
Yeah, they like doing that. They do it a couple times, don't they?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Classic way to end the song.
Absolutely. Minotaur, I mean, there's not a lot to be said about it. It's one or two guitars feeding back for 23 seconds, which it seems like it's a lead into the next song.
Yeah.
I think we all do, which is Hellbound. It's a great heavy guitar riff that starts off this fast tempo tune. I love the guitar riff in the verses, and the choruses are a bit short, but doing their job. Well, I think it's John. John comes in with a blistering solo, then breaks into a simple and beautiful guitar harmonies, like dual leads. Beautiful soloing through the outro, which is during the outro chorus. It's a great song. I like that one. Hellbound is a great song. Let's see, Mirror. This one starts off with clean guitar, and it's beautifully done. The second time through, a beautiful string pad comes in and really sets the mood. This is a ballad, a sensitive and melodic ballad. Oops, I spoke too soon. It's becoming a little heavier with the guitar solo. Very nice touch and very tastefully done. John takes the solo. I'm assuming it's John. Sorry. Again, someone takes the solo and it's hot and angry. I'm pretty sure it's John. It breaks back into the verse and in the chorus and ends very nicely. Great song. Silver and Gold. I've had a lot of both.
Yeah. Danny, come on.
I'll share with you sometime.
You got to share with me, man.
This one sounds very familiar. I can't put my finger on it. Nice guitar riffs start off the verses. It slightly reminds me of Captain Beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know who does the solo, but it's a nice solo with the wah-wah. This one, I put this one is just okay for me. Yeah, we'll go on to the next song, Blackjack. This one, as all the songs before it, have that British rock vibe to it. The guitar starts this one off. This one is very similar, once again, to UFO on their earlier albums.
Yeah.
The verses are nice. The chorus is great. I'm going to say it. John does a blistering solo.
I think that has to be John. I don't think nothing against Rob Weir. I don't think he did the really fast.
I'm the guitar player. I mean, Logan's. We all can identify John's approach and way. So I'm going to say it. John takes a blistering solo. Let's see, where did I get off? There it is. About halfway through, the song ends with the typical concert ending: crash, bang, boom. The story so far, the next tune. This one starts off with a melodic guitar and drums.
Yeah.
One of the guitar players brings in a tasty, simple solo to bring in the verse. I think the song is pretty catchy so far. Vocal melody is very memorable. Another nice little solo in between the verses, very Michael Schenker-esque, simple and melodic. Some very nice vocal harmonies in the chorus, almost reminiscent of Boston.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I believe it's John that takes the second solo after the second chorus. This song is written in a major key, and on this one, the guitar player, whoever it was, I think it was probably John, decided to go melodic, which is a great decision. It's hard to say, but I think the singer's tone, I like the singer's tone on this a lot. Yeah, it was a good song. Really good song. Tiger Bay. let's see. This one starts off again in a typical Tang style. Great riff in the verse. Yeah, this has got to be John. John takes the solo with a blistering minor scale and double lead, coming in about 3/4 of the way through, just for a few seconds, and then right back into the chorus. This one was okay for me. For me, it was, this whole song was John Sykes. You know, he elevated the entire song with that solo. Don't Stop By. This one starts off with great palm muting, and I believe it's John's tone is killing. I wrote, is killing someone. That means really good. Whoa, this is very reminiscent of perhaps Dokken.
Yeah.
Vocal is very melodic in the verse. You agree? Kind of.
Yeah, it's got a very melodic verse. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is there's a major breakdown in dynamics. The song comes down right in the chorus, and it's a very nice effect. Pretty much the same on the second verse. Let's see. Once again, the dynamics in the chorus once again caught me by surprise. This is very nice. Yeah. Let's see. John uses his pickup. Oh, I think it's John. He's using the pickup in the neck position. You know, he got two pickups. One's near the bridge and one's near the neck. That's in the neck position, for sure. Let's see. It has a fat, dark sound to it. It's a very nice effect, and he's playing another great melodic solo. This could be the other guy. I don't know which one it is, but I can tell you which pickup he's using. After the next verse, they bring it back into the beginning. Another interesting move, and they use the beginning of the song as the ending. Great song. Is that the last one?
Yeah, that's the last, yeah.
So I'm not going to rate it, but was it good? Hell yeah. Yeah, it was a great album. There was one or two songs that didn't strike me as really great, but talked about those. Those solos elevated those two songs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still good.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody who likes heavy rock and doesn't know these albums, you gotta check them out.
Yeah, they're missing something. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Dan.
Great stuff. Yeah. So yeah, Gangland, just what a song to start the album. Just this high energy, heavy song. And it's my favorite of the Ganglands. I like it better than Maiden's Gangland. I'll actually say that. So yeah, great song, great high energy song to start the album. Just that's by far probably their heaviest song. Just really fast, heavy song. Just with, like you said, like blistering leads from John. It just goes nuts. Yeah, I could sort of pick it out, like who's doing the really. You can sort of pinpoint who's playing what. So
yes.
And then we get to Take It. This gives me a little bit of, and I guess maybe it's because of his voice. This almost sounds like a little bit of Stars.
Okay.
It's got more of that just kind of straightforward rock sound to it, and it's kind of has like it's the sort of stuff that Stars would do. And even the one solo that gets really fast kind of has like a bit of an Ace sound. It almost reminds me of like the really fast solo in Deuce by Kiss. So yeah, it kind of has that sound to it when he really speeds it up at the end when he goes nuts. Yeah, on Take It. Yeah.
I played with Stars.
Yeah. You said, you mentioned that you played with Stars. That's pretty cool.
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
And then Help. And then you get that little Minotaur thing. It's just guitar feedback. There's not really anything to say, but I feel like almost that should have maybe started the album and just went into Gangland instead or something. Like,
hey, that's cool. Yeah.
That would
made a little bit more. It's kind of a weird placing. Third song is like an intro. It's like
great idea. Great idea.
I would have switched it. I would have put that at the front, leading into Gangland, instead of in the middle of the first side of the album. It's just kind of a strange placement. But it's harmless. It's just guitar feedback. It's like whatever. It's an intro. which leads into Hellbound, Hellbound was probably the first song I heard by these guys. Can't remember how I heard it. I think that's a great song and just fast driving. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the 2 Minutes to Midnight riff and the Flash Rocking Man by Accept. There's so many.
Yeah, good one. Yeah.
So many guitar players. Actually, even Rory Gallagher, Moonchild, he used this riff.
Yeah.
The farthest I could trace this riff to, there was actually a Moody Blues song that used that riff.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a really old Moody Blues song that actually used that riff. But yeah, it's been used numerous times. Can't remember what song it was, but yeah. And I think it was called "The Story Goes." Actually, what the name of the song? Yeah. So it kind of starts off, which is weird because Moody Blues wasn't like a heavy rock band, but that one song kind of had that riff. It was weird. I remember hearing it. I'm like, wait a second, that's where this riff started. So yeah, that's what that reminds me of. And then Mirror, yeah, starts off just like a ballad, but it builds and builds. You're thinking, okay, it's going to be a ballad, but then that heavy riff kicks in. Kind of reminds me of maybe High and Dry era Def Leppard. Yeah. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that kind of sound. Gives me that kind of feeling. But yeah, it's great. It's like heavy ballad. It's hard. I guess you could call it a ballad. It is a ballad, but it's a heavy ballad. It's not like it's not like a sappy kind of just, it's not a love song ballad. That's for sure.
No.
It's like a dark, heavy ballad. It's just such a great song. Yeah, again, just great guitar work. I'm not going to get too much into that. You guys have said that. It's just great guitar playing throughout. And yeah, you can tell the really fast leads is definitely for sure. That's got to be Sykes, especially if you listen to the first Tygers of Pantang when it was just one guitar player. The solos are good, but they're a little bit more slower down and melodic. There's nothing really all that fast or crazy. He just kind of keeps it simple. But on here, you can tell there's just these solos that just go nuts, and you could really see where he was going to take that to Thin Lizzy. So then we get to Silver and Gold. Pretty decent song. I find, the chorus is simple, but it's very catchy and sticks in your head. That whole Silver and Gold over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught it. I don't know if it was done purposely, if the lyric has been used multiple times, but I don't know if you caught the part where he says, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief.
Oh, yeah.
That was like a throwback to AC/DC in that, when he said that. Like
maybe so, yeah.
To, what was it, Sin City? Yeah.
Sin City, yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was done purposely or if that's just a very... I mean, you're singing about silver and gold, so I get it. But yeah, I as soon as I heard that, I'm like, wait a second. I was expecting him to say the rest of the line from Sin City, but then he says something else. I'm like, okay, that was a good song. Just a good forward, like straightforward rock song. Not as heavy as the other ones, but it's still just a good, fun, catchy song.
Yeah.
And then Blackjack goes like you guys said, kind of goes back to the UFO sound, like the older Forced era or Phenomenon, and kind of has like this slow, like bluesy boogie riff to it, but it's like distorted and heavy, and it's just a good rocking song. And amazing solo again. And I love how it ends when he changes it up, his vocals at the end, and he's like, I'm gonna be gambling with you. Just the way he sings it there at the end, it sounds all like evil and threatening almost. It's like he's threatening you. It's like, okay. It just sounds really great at the end. I love how he changes up that vocal at the very, very end of the song. And then the story so far, this for sure. This should have been a single that pushed the album, and they should have had a hit with this song because that chorus is so catchy. And the riff, there was a band that Paul Di'Anno formed after leaving. I don't know if it was right after, but he was in a band after leaving Maiden. They put out I think 3 songs on this little 3-song EP called Gog. The band was Gog Magog.
Yeah.
And there was a song on there called Living in a Fucking Time Warp. And it's almost the same riff. If you go to listen to it, it's almost the same riff as the story so far. And this is 4 years older. Kind of has, though, a little bit, I think it has a little bit of the Living After Midnight riff by Judas Priest, which is a year before this. So I kind of hear that a little bit too. Kind of has that sort of riff to it, which is probably why it's so catchy. It's a very just catchy song that you can sing along to, but should have been pushed as a single. Just that chorus is very memorable and just another good song.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Tiger Bay goes back to the really fast kind of stuff and just reminds me of Hellbound a little bit, but it's different still. It's just a fast driving, high energy song with just great solos throughout.
Yep.
And then we end the album strong too. Like Don't Stop By. It's completely different really than anything else on the album. It's a bit kind of like just a kind of like a dark, heavy song. And yeah, like you said, it's got that really heavy, like palm muted sound to it.
Yes.
And it's throughout the song, it starts like that and it ends like that, and it's goes throughout the song, but it changes. The song actually has quite a few changes, but it's just a really well done song.
Yes.
I would have probably maybe placed it more in the middle because it's a more slower song. I feel like I feel like sort of end songs on like a faster note.
A good option.
It doesn't kill the album though, by far. I
No.
would have maybe, I don't know, opened with Gangland and ended with Hellbound or vice versa or whatever. Just kind of.
I like your idea.
Yeah.
But it's still a great song. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I like every song on here. So for me, I have no problem rating it because I'm giving it a 10. So like this is actually my favorite album of 1981. So I can't really.
Awesome, man.
So it's just a really great album. Yeah, I've been listening to it a lot, and it's like there wasn't too much homework for me because you could just tell me the song, and I'm like, okay, I know it's that song. It goes like this. And
yeah.
We were all very close on our review.
Just a classic album that should have got more recognition. I don't know what happened. Like, it's weird.
You never know.
I guess it's not commercial. It's too heavy to be commercial, and it's not commercial enough for radio.
Let's not forget, guys. They were signed to MCA, and we all know how they treated bands.
Music Cemetery of America. So.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It might have been a little bit before its time too.
80,
What 81 was still like
transition year kind of.
Yeah, it wasn't. They were a little bit ahead of their time, I think. With this,
you had those early Maiden albums out already though, so like it should have been.
Yeah, and they're better than Maiden, I think.
But even Maiden didn't get pushed really until like their career with Paul Di'Anno wasn't all that big. They were more underground successful, but they weren't. They got big when Bruce joined them. So
I think timing might have been a little off.
You said it so many times, man. Timing's everything.
It is everything, brother. It is.
I think Metallica stated that Tygers was a huge influence on them. Like it's all those metal bands, all the heavy, like really thrashy bands would have been influenced by these guys because this is older and they would have influenced
like even what I said, the Creator covered Gangland.
Yeah, so there you go. You have thrash bands covering these guys, so it's
good stuff, man.
Great album. Great album.
I guess we'll go on the bonus tracks then.
Yeah, we'll do the bonus tracks. So we'll go back to Logan for the bonus tracks from Spellbound. So starting with All or Nothing.
Yeah, I started with All or Nothing, which is a cover of the Small Faces 1966 song, which was a pretty big hit for them. And John, I'm guessing this was John's idea because later on down the line, they actually cover another Small Faces song. Well, he does with Blue Murder. So I think maybe he might have gave the idea for that, or maybe it might have been the label. I don't really know, to be honest with you. It's a pretty good rocked up version of the song. It's got some awesome guitar work, I think. It's good for what it is. I'm kind of glad it didn't make the record, though. You know what I mean? Because then it would kind of just be, maybe the label made us do this, but it makes me feel like Sykes wanted to actually do this because later on down the line he actually covered Small Faces again. So it's okay. It's a serviceable song. Got a catchy chorus, but it's cool. I went with Don't Give a Damn would be the next one. Which is the B-side to the Hellbound single. So I guess they did release Hellbound as a single. But I think this track could have made the finished album, in my opinion. Got a great mid-tempo rocker, with lyrics that remind me of some of the content on the song Never Satisfied on the next record. Kind of got that same kind of, I meet a woman and, the things that happen after that. I love the rhythm section work on the chorus. Bass runs and drum fills really going to a nice solo. I think it's Rob mainly on this one. This feels like a Rob kind of lead to me. Very blues-filled lines in that solo. Also, John Sykes is pretty famous for his rev up, pick slide kind of thing he did on Still the Night, that kind of thing. He does that a little bit on this song. So, it's another track that's I think it's better than usual B-side material. definitely think could have made the album, especially considering the album's only like 34 minutes long. They could have put this on there. But then the next one's Bad Times, which is from the audition tapes, which me and Sydney had a whole discussion about that. I think Wikipedia is a little bit off about that whole thing. Saying it's 79, but really it was probably 80.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this song kicks off hard and heavy with a great riff. John's got a great heavy vocal. This is one of the songs Sykes and Devereaux auditioned with the band for. You could easily see why they both got the job if it was like this. Awesome lead work from Sykes on this one, I believe. Just a great energetic rock tune. And this one's got love how it ends, kind of the drums and the guitars playing off each other with every kind of rhythm section they do there. Yeah, it's a cool tune. Then we get It Ain't Easy, which was a studio outtake, which never was released until the bonus track. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of more akin to Mirror. Kind of got that kind of feel to it. But this one doesn't change as much as Mirror. Mirror, gets heavy and has a bunch of different spots where it changes. It's kind of more like just a straight ahead ballad. It's got some great emotional vocals and guitar work throughout. It's got a great melodic solo on this one as well, which I think fits the track perfectly. Yeah, it's a good track. I kind of see why it didn't make the album, because if you already have a song like Mirror, I definitely think between the two, Mirror would be the winner there. But yeah, it's a good song. I'm glad they put it out here, or what has been lost to time. So we'll get Don't Take Nothing for the last one, which is another song from the audition tapes. Song is I said it's much, it's kind of similar to Bad Times. It's got like a great heavy fast riff to it. I think this one sounds more finished though. It kind of sounds like Sangreedy's kind of produced it a little more. I'm not sure. He might not even have done it because it's from the audition tape. So, but it kind of sounds more finished, like it could have made the album. Maybe as a final track to end on a heavy rocker, kind of like what Sydney was talking about with ending on Gangland or something like that. But yeah, that's my opinion on the bonus tracks. They're all pretty solid. And it's cool. It's cool you get a track that never came out before, and it ain't easy. So throw it over to Danny for these.
Okay. I'm starting off with
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing. Let's see. There it is. Okay. This one's a basic 1-4-5 progression, which really surprises me. It's just typical rock and roll. Now I've been schooled by Logan. I know why. This was the face of it.
Yeah. Small Faces, I think. So it would have been Rod Stewart or Steve Marriott singing?
Steve Marriott for this one.
Yeah. I wrote, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, it's kind of stays.
I see the second, the verse is still 1-4-5, and the chorus is also. The guitar player, I don't believe this one's John, but it could be, gets a big fat sound similar to Leslie West on the solo, and does a ton of pinch harmonics. I put nicely done. Yeah. I did not know or realize that was a Small Faces song. Now it makes sense. Let's see. Don't Give a Damn. I put heavy guitar riff starts this one off for the verse. The chorus is very simple and memorable. We have here a simple and cool rock song. Yeah. Let's see what you want to give us in the solo. Surprisingly, it's a bunch of double stops. Another technique. I've never heard, and if this is John, I'd never heard him do that kind of stuff. So I'm going to assume other guy, huh?
That's what I was thinking too, Danny. Yeah.
Okay. After the solo, they bring in a bridge, and it's quite different from the rest of the song, and it breaks things up. Okay. This one's just meh for me. This isn't going to be one of my favorite songs, but it's okay. It's an okay song. Let's see. We got Bad Times. We got a fast shuffle here. Let's see where this goes. It's funny, the guitar players who influence other guitar players.
Yeah.
the beginning of this guitar solo was, and every guitar player stole it just to learn it, was off of Billy Cobham's Spectrum album, a song called Stratus that Tom Boland played on, and it is a killer intro, and this is exactly the same thing. So I'm assuming this guy, whoever it was, and I don't know if it was John, was listening to that album and really liked it as much as I did, or every other guitar player I know. Let's see. Let's see. This is a great rocker. That I'm going to end it on that. It Ain't Easy. I'm not sure who the guitar player was on this, but it's a nice, slow, melodic solo. This is a slow song. The vocalist on this is so far reminding me a bit of Don Dokken. Nice chorus and very memorable. This song is okay for me. That's what I got on that one. Don't Take Nothing. This one starts off with a great rock riff on guitar, as one might expect. Verses are great. The chorus is memorable. Let's see where this goes. Song modulates up a whole step and then right back down into the main key with, I don't know if it's John, with someone taking a solo on the using wah-wah. And where's that wah-wah out? It could have been. Let's see. Back into the intro and chorus again. Great surprise ending. This is a good song.
Yeah.
So
that's it. That's the bonus tracks. Yeah.
This is the last bonus track. Is that correct?
That's the last bonus track from the first one. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, for me, All or Nothing. Yeah, it's a fun cover of the Small Faces song. Like we determined, it's good for what it is. I enjoy it. Probably didn't really need to be on the album, so that's probably why I imagined it's a bonus track.
Yeah.
And then Don't Give a Damn. It's almost very Kiss sounding in a way.
No wonder I like it.
It goes back to that more basic kind of like rock kind of Kiss sort of sound, but it's a great song. Again, if it's John, but yeah, the solos are pretty good on this as well. Bad Times I kind of just described almost as like ZZ Top meets heavy metal because it's kind of got like a boogie kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
I don't think the recording's done as well. It almost seems a little bit poorly recorded compared to the other bonus tracks for whatever reason. It sounds almost sounds like a bit of a rough demo or something. It's kind of
even the other audition song sounds better than this one. I don't know what's up with it.
Strange. It's weird. Maybe it's just how it was recorded, and it's probably. I wonder if it's actually just recorded live in the studio if it's of an audition.
Yeah, that would make sense because when that solo comes in, it just like buries everything else pretty much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a great song. It Ain't Easy. It's an okay ballad. Like it has a decent riff in there at one point. And there's a really, like you said, a nice melodic solo. But I think they made the right choice for including Mirror as the ballad to put on the album over this. I think Mirror's by far a superior song. It's okay. It's not a horrible song. You can listen to it and it doesn't bother me, but it's just, it's okay. Nothing that stands out for me. And then, for sure, I think Don't Take Nothing is probably my favorite of the bonus tracks. Just a straightforward hard rock song with a really catchy chorus and just more high energy riffing and soloing. It's just with the wah-wah. That's the best for me anyways of the bonus tracks on there. And it's cool that they did at least include all this new material or whatever on bonus tracks on the re-release. So, and they didn't just do like alternate versions of songs that were already on the albums like a lot of bands do. 6 bonus tracks, but it's just like BBC session of this song. It's like, well, they're already on the album. Might as well just listen.
It's actually interesting to listen to them, and I don't think I ever listened to them before we did this.
No, me neither. I didn't realize they released this with bonus tracks or anything, and I was looking into it. I was like, oh, it bonus. So that was I'm not gonna rate bonus tracks, but so it's pretty decent. And then so now we'll move it over to Crazy Nights to Logan.
All right, so this is the band's second album of 1981, coming out 6 months after Spellbound in November.
Crazy.
I mean, just think about that, man. That's wild. Album was produced by Dennis McKay, released on MCA. And it was recorded at legendary Trident Studios, which was home to other recordings such as Fire and Water by Free, Stained Class by Judas Priest, and a whole bunch of the Genesis albums from the 70s. And I wrote down Nursery Crime was one of them. But apparently, if you go by Wikipedia, this is the last record ever recorded there. I don't know if you believe that or not, but I guess it shut down not long after. So, but yeah, the album reached number 51 on the UK album charts. And Rodney Matthews, if you guys have ever, seen Magnum's album covers, the band Magnum, or he did Scorpions album covers.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he did the album cover artwork, which I love the artwork, man. If I was around back in the day and I seen that, cool. I would totally buy that. Giant tiger acting like he's King Kong, swatting
planes. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Swatting the planes on the tower. Yeah. But yeah, I'll get into the tracks here. Do It Good. This one kicks off the album in fine fashion, I think. Simplistic but catchy, heavy power chords. Before John's great vocal on this one, and lyrically, I love this song, about pretty much what it says in the title. Whatever you do in life, make sure you do it good. Just
not the best English, but yeah. Do it good.
Yeah, great catchy chorus. Gets stuck in your head long after the track's done playing to me. It's weird giving the solo on this one. Really fits the song just perfectly before we go back into that great verse riff. Some cool lead bass work too on this song. I like that little section when it's, he gets to show off a little bit. Song starts a string of my favorite Tygers songs. And I'm going to say it, this was my introduction into Tygers of Pantang. I really didn't hear Spellbound for a while after this. This was the one for me for a long time.
Okay.
So, yeah, I kind of have that sentimental, first album kind of thing with this. So, yeah, side one of this album's pretty flawless in my opinion. But, yeah, we get Love Don't Stay, which I hear a rainbow-like riff in this song to kick off. Kind of got like a, double stop kind of. It sounds like Burn, too. I'm sure Danny knows what I'm talking about. I'm sure Sydney does, too. But
yeah.
I know Danny's the Blackmore guy. So
I know John Sykes has cited Gary Moore, Blackmore, and Jimmy Page as his three biggest influences. So there you go.
And I definitely hear the Blackmore in a lot of this. Some of the songs, not a lot of it, but I love Deverell's vocals on this song in that heavy section before. On the chorus, he complements that high guitar leads by singing very melodic. I just love that chorus, man. Another song I could have seen as being a big song for them if it got pushed some. Great solo section kicks off on this one with Sykes starting, we're joining in before the end, and they join together, some unison lines. And then it goes back into that melodic chorus. It's one of my favorite Tiger songs, and there is footage on YouTube of them playing this on a UK TV show called Something Else. So that's pretty cool that they have footage of these guys, because there's like 14 minutes of like footage with Sykes in this band. Unfortunately, I wish they recorded a whole show, but this band wasn't big enough for that. So we'll get to third track, Never Satisfied. Love the way the song kicks off. Got some great drum work before that palm muted heavy riff comes in. Kind of sounds like it's sneaking up the pentatonic scale kind of deal. It's cool. Deverell's vocals just fit the music to a T on this one, I think. Love when the song picks up in tempo on the chorus lines, and John holds some high notes, showing off his vocal range on this song nicely. I love those verses, man. He just sounds like he's pissed off. It's like not screaming, but like just the way he sings. So gritty, kind of aggressive. The band just fires on all cylinders on this one. Weir kicks the solos off, I think. Could be wrong about that, but it sounds like him. It's got some like cool hammer-on pull-offs kind of thing before Sykes comes in and takes it to another level. As the band play that faster section, I like that too. They switched out the songwriting on this album. Is, I think, excellent, man. Like the first solo, Weir's playing like to the slower verse part. And then when Sykes comes in, they pass and, they go in the chorus line and Sykes is playing over that. Yeah, it's just another winner to me. And then we get to Running Out of Time, which the song's got a fast, energetic riff. I think John sounds a little bit like Dio on this song in his vocal delivery, from what I hear. Yeah, he's got a little bit of that. When Dio does the longer drawn out notes, you guys know what I mean. Just the band just sounds well rehearsed together. Shows off greatly in this track. Cool drum fill breaks all the way throughout it. Some great lead bass work even in the solo section before it becomes a Syked showcase. What I wrote down. Especially love the part when the band drops out, and I think Sykes plays some cool lead lines by himself there. And I think Rob does the last solo. It's played nicely. Ends on some unison work between the two of them until the fade. Yeah, and that's just a killer way to close your album side, I think. Just an awesome track, Then we get the title track, Crazy Nights. Not Crazy Nights.
I guess, yeah.
The song kicks off with some great dramatic feeling with the quarter notes on the drums, that classic pounding, great power chords under another awesome Devereaux vocal before it kicks right into the chorus filled with some gang backing vocals, which is different for this band. I think it's the first time they really ever did that. Love the way the verses are structured in the song, which, because, the first time around, it's kind of just like those hanging guitar chords like I'm talking about, and just them quarter note feel on the drums. And then the second verse, they build up to the chorus, like in dynamics, like the snare fills and the guitars start chugging instead of doing like hanging chords. I always thought that was kind of cool. It's just a great anthemic rock song that I could see totally going down great in a live set. Love the ending bit of the song too, with the band singing Crazy Nights. John kind of throwing responding lines to it, kind of like he did in Blackjack, like Sydney brought up. That's cool songwriting. You even listen to some of his work on this album compared to Spellbound, I think. And he's already improving, in that 6-month time span. It's just crazy to me. It's a great title track for the album, what I wrote down. And then we'll get the Down and Out, which, started off my notes. I love this song. Got some great dynamics that I mentioned earlier with the drums building up before bringing the track in with those great power chords. John gives a great vocal. I think the chorus of the song is one of the best, man, on the album. I just think John gives it his all, man. Soars on that last line of the chorus before he gets back into the heavy verses. I love that about the song most. And really, the verses and the chorus of this kind of sound like two separate songs. They don't even sound like they belong together. That just makes it so cool to me. In a light and heavy type way, kind of. And I could have seen this one being released as a single too. Weir kicks the solos off with a wah-wah lead before Sykes comes in for more speedy guitar theatrics. Then they use back into the verses and chorus to close this track out. Yeah, it's another winner for me on this album. We get to Lonely Man, which has got a nice chugging riff. Kicks this track off with some great rhythm section work from the band. Love that little lick they throw in at the end of every verse line. John's vocals are very impressive here. Sings very high throughout this track's runtime. He doesn't go like how he has on other tracks. He's really kind of high up there on this one. And I think the solo not only fits the song, but elevates it like much of his solos do for certain tunes like we've talked about. Very melodic again, hitting towards what the band would come to do further on in their career on the next couple albums. And that high note John holds towards the end of the track, I think it's cool because it like fades almost into the song. Kind of like how Tiger Bay was the same way. But we'll get to Make a Stand, which is another positive message-filled tune. Get a hint of a little bit of what John will go on to do in Whitesnake on this riff. It kind of sounds like something that could have ended up on 87 to me a little bit. And then I love that little breakdown in the song. Kind of almost gives like a James Bond, like a 007 feel to it. Like a spy theme. Some great hanging fades guitar chords in this section as well, which breaks right into the solo.
Yep.
Yeah, I think John's most bluesy playing on any of the Tygers stuff is on this song. If you can go by what we're, Wikipedia says all the, who's doing what. But yeah, I think it's him. It sounds like him, especially the first bit of the solo. Love how we get the chorus riff without the sung chorus as well when it comes back in. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's just more great songwriting choices on the song, and I just think it's a great tune. We get this is the last one, right? Raised on Rock.
Yep.
This is the last. Yep. Okay. We get a fast-paced hard rocker, so we can't complain about this one ending on
a slow one.
Sounds like some double bass action kind of on this one, kind of in the shuffle style. Some great chord changes and drum fills throughout this track. Title really speaks for itself on this one, kind of self-explanatory type of song. Love both solos on this song with Sykes going crazy to kick it off, and Weir's very melodic solo really complements each other nicely on this tune, I think. It's another song they did on the Old Grey Whistle test as well. Which I don't think I mentioned that. Running Out of Time was the other one they did.
Oh wow!
So it's cool. We got great footage of both. Yeah, it's just a shame that this was the last recording that Sykes was a part of fully. But he went out in fine fashion, delivering without question. And I've listened to about all the Tygers albums. I think this is definitely their two best. Yeah, I'd probably rate this one even higher than Spellbound. I'd probably give this a 9.5.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I love this album. Yeah. But I love melodic rock and stuff too. So a lot of that peeks through in my, especially on this album. But yeah, we'll go over to Danny, what he thinks about this one.
Well, let's see here. First of all, I missed a tune. It's the fourth tune. I don't think I got it. I missed it somehow.
Oh, I missed Running Out of Time, man.
I think Running Out of Time, I think I got. Maybe it's the fifth tune, but when I get there, you'll know. Let's see. Do It Good. This one starts off with a simple guitar riff in the verse. I'm not a big fan of. I do like the up vibe with the lyrics, but not a big fan of how he did it. The solo comes in, and you said something like weird effect or something like that on the guitar.
Yeah, well, Rob Weir did the solo too.
Yeah, Sykes doesn't do the solo on that at all. That's all.
The Leslie. So he's playing through.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's, lots of cool solos are done through Leslie's through the beginning of time. And that's about all I'm going to say about that. Forrest Gump. Okay, we got Love Don't Stay. This one comes in hot, sounding a bit reminiscent to Montrose for me.
Okay.
You said like Blackmore or Rainbow. This one to me was more kind of Montrose-y. Nice verse, but I understand what you said when you said Blackmore. I agree with that too. Nice verse. It's rocking pretty good, and the chorus is good. Rinse and repeat, and here comes the solo. Big fat notes with big pinch harmonics. Back into the verse and back into the chorus and out. Nice tune. We're running out of time. Did I pass it yet?
Okay, so Never Satisfied was the one that you missed.
I'm sorry, guys. I missed that.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's
you gotta listen to that one sometime.
I don't know how I missed it, but I missed it.
Nah, it ain't no big deal.
Let's see. This song's obviously about the human race being destroyed or destroying the earth. It's a nice heavy guitar riff in the verse and chorus, and it's great. Nice drum break after the second verse and chorus. This the bass takes a little solo with the drums backing him up. Man, this is a great guitar solo. Whoever is playing it, they're using whoever's playing it. They're using descending chromatic scale, which is you don't hear that very often. It was a nice effect. Very nicely executed, I wrote. Back into the verse and the outro with the surprise riff in the fade out. It was a great song. I loved it. Let's go with Crazy Nights. This one I wasn't as a fan as much as you both were. Or I wrote, boy, guys, it must have been a crazy night. This is the title track. Great solo, great tone. But Mama said life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's where I'm going to leave that one.
Well, that solo's all Sykes, yeah, because this does actually say on Wikipedia who plays what solo, so it does tell you who this. Yeah,
that solo was great, and I wrote down on purpose, great tone. The sound was awesome. The guitar playing was awesome. It was great. Let's see, Down and Out. Nice simple guitar riff starts this song off with a drum buildup. A nice verse, and the chorus is good. Beautiful solo with the wah-wah, and then a second solo comes in, and both of them were good. I like this song. This one has the concert type ending, which was a little surprising to me. They probably did 8 bars with just the instruments, and I was really expecting some kind of solo over the top of that, but they just did the chorus out with no singing, no outro solo, no nothing. It was a little surprising to me, but this was still a great song. Lonely Man. Nice guitar riff on this song. First verse is what catches my ear is the singer, reminiscently sounding like a bit like Don Dokken. Great verse, great chorus, rinse and repeat. Here, the highlight for me of the song is the beautiful solo, beautiful tone, and masterfully done. It was well done, very well done. I like this song. Let's see, we got 2 more.
Yep.
Make a Stand. This one starts off sounding a bit reminiscent of Montrose. Verse is good and chorus is good. The guitar sounds are killing someone. It's excellent. Rinse and repeat verse 1 and verse 2. Verse 2 and chorus 2, sorry. After chorus 2, we have a break. We have a dynamic breakdown with just bass and drums. The guitar comes in with a clean tone and a flanger, playing the basic chords and setting the mood for what I think will be the solo. Big fat guitar tone taking a melodic solo. Very, very nice. Back to the verse and chorus outro. Nice song. And then Raised on Rock. I remember this. This one starts off with a great guitar riff, fairly quick and fast. If you could imagine the drums in Van Halen's Bottoms Up or meets Hot for Teacher, mix those two together, this is pretty close to the drum groove. This verse is nice, and the chorus is nice. Rinse and repeat verse 2 and chorus 2. Guitar solo is really good. No surprise there. Back to the verse and chorus and done. I'll take this one. That's it for me.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. I'd never heard it, and I'm very grateful to be introduced to it. That's a great album. I'm not going to rate it, but it's way up there in the 9s, I would say.
Okay, nice. All right, so I'll get into it. So Do It Good. This is kind of like your really basic. Again, this is the Stars thing to me, and he's got that same voice as Michael Lee Smith. So that in a song like this, it has that more just simple, straightforward rock song. And Sykes isn't doing the solo. This is mostly Weir, but I guess Sykes is probably doing the riff. They're probably both. I'm assuming live, they're probably both just doing the riff at the same time and just to give it a fuller sound. But it's a decent solo, but you can tell it's not Sykes because it's nowhere near as flashy or as memorable as the solos that he does.
I think that fits that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it fits that song. It does because it's a simple, short, straightforward rock song. So,
I agree.
It suits it, but it's still a really good song and just a really good catchy riff that just kind of thuds along. But it's a really good song still. And then Love Don't Stay almost reminds me of a little bit of the story so far with that very the chorus anyways, that very memorable chorus. And yeah, it's a great song as well. You pretty much said everything. So yeah, another great song. And then yeah, Never Satisfied. I'd say this is the highlight, but we'll get to that. But yeah, Never Satisfied is another just great heavy song. It's just, I love how fast it is. It's just a really fast song that just kills. And even like, yeah, like you said, John Deverell, the singer, just sounds pissed off the entire time, but he does it in such a way where he's not just screaming, like he sort of is, but he's just, yeah, it's like just a driving in your face. When I heard, this is the song that I know the most on this album, is this song. It's probably the first one I heard on this album, but yeah, it's just a great song. And then yeah, but Running Out of Time though, that's the highlight of this. This is just heavy. This is probably, I'd say it's heavier than Gangland. From the first, I could say that. Yeah, it's a good, just heavy driving song, and like Danny said, it's about every humans killing the planet basically. Yeah. And then yeah, I love that you mentioned it, that really cool bass solo, which gives it kind of like a Maiden vibe. Yeah. So then yeah, like, and then the leads that just go off, like when John goes nuts at the end, just oh my god, some of those solos are just amazing. It's just a great song. Just a high energy. That's probably the only thing you could really truly probably call heavy metal on this entire album. That's just a straight up heavy metal song. And then yeah, Crazy Nights. For me, it was a little bit too repetitive. Like
they do sing the chorus a
lot. Yeah, they do sing Crazy Nights like probably 50 times. But like I said, John solo in there, and it's all Sykes in this one.
Oh yeah.
Like that solo kicks in, and you're like, okay, now we're cooking. And then it just goes back to Crazy Nights 50 times. It's like I could have done without that part, but like it's still a good, upbeat, catchy, memorable song. It's memorable at least. You won't forget it. But yeah, that solo though, really, that solo elevates it. Like he can take a song that's just a simple, straight, repetitive song, throw the solo in, and then just elevates the song more.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just a great heavy solo in there. And then yeah, see, this is where Logan's gonna knock me a little bit here. The next three songs I'm not honestly too crazy about. Down and Out, Lonely Man, and Make a Stand. They're a little bit more on the, don't want to say soft side, but like
they're more melodic, like I was saying.
I guess they're not like the heavy rock sons, right? They're still, I mean, like I said, like everything, Sykes' soloing elevates these songs for me. So if it weren't for the Sykes solos, the Sykes solos just make, like, for me, these songs are all kind of not, I don't want to say they're weak, but like for me, they're almost not forgettable. I don't want to use that word, but
gee, look at the time.
Sykes solos though just boost these. Like I don't really remember too much about those three songs. I'm sorry, but yeah, the solos though,
like what you like.
The solos elevate it though. I can't knock it. It's not his guitar playing that's the problem. It's just, I guess, just the songs themselves. I don't know, but like the solos are great. Like the songs themselves, I can still listen to it because of the guitar playing. The guitar playing is so phenomenal. And then and the album with Raised on Rock, it's just a headbanger sort of. It's kind of like a bluesy headbanger, I guess. It's just the lyrics suit the title, Raised on Rock. It's all about just being raised on rock, and I love the vocal delivery in it. I love the solos. Just a fun, upbeat driving song. I really love like the drum groove that goes throughout it, and it's just a really fun, high energy. It's heavy, but it's a fun song. So it's and I'd still give this a 9. Like I still think it's a really, really strong album.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's just a really, really good album. So yeah, awesome. We'll get into the bonus tracks of this one. You only got 3 this time, so let's slip away to Logan to discuss Slip Away.
All right. So wrote down a little bit of background on this. I think for the U.S. import of Crazy Nights, you could get a 12-inch single of this tune and the next track, Stormlands, as an added bonus. So might have been kind of cool for the U.S. market, you buying something from a band, overseas, and they wanted to throw something in for you, kind of deal. Kind of cool. If you couldn't get enough of Tygers, here's 2 more bonus tracks for you, pretty much. Just a great upbeat rocker, I think. Love the hi-hat work on the drums in the chorus, going 100 miles a minute. If I had to guess on this track, I think Rob is doing the majority of the solo work here, kind of sounds like. Really great feel on this tune. John, of course, giving some soaring highs on the chorus line. Love how his vocal melody plays on the chorus riff as well. Yeah, it's a great track. And then we get Stormlands, which is the second one. This is Tygers blues rock tune, is what I said. They really nail it, I feel. John gives a great vocal, and the track musically is very laid back and bluesy. Very surprising and pleasant change of pace from the other tracks. I think it's Rob kind of doing the solos mainly on this one too. Really full of emotion and feel. Love the ending with John and the guitars really playing off each other note for note. Another great track, and could have been a welcome surprise for U.S. listeners to get these two songs, along with the album back in the day. And I couldn't find anything. I looked about Paradise Drive. I'm not sure where that came from. If it was just a B-side or, I'm not sure, if it was that. But it's another up-tempo rock and roll tune. Almost has like a 50s type feel to it, really, throughout it. Sounds like a 50s kind of rock and roll tune.
Which they will do.
Too. Yeah. More on that later. But yeah, it's a pretty cool tune. Doesn't stick out too much to me as much as the other bonus tracks. Still very enjoyable and not something I would skip. So yeah, all three of these tracks are great. Yeah, that's all I had to say about them, pretty much.
Perfect.
You stole the line there.
All right, slip away over to Danny.
Okay, we're starting with
slip away. Oh, because you got to go back up and scroll to where you have it after
that. Yeah, I kind of scroll down while I'm listening to Logan. I want to see how we're pretty much on the same page. Here we go. Slip Away. This one starts off with an awesome guitar riff. Nice verse and memorable chorus. Thank you, Logan. Yeah, I mean, it was, what can you say? Rinse and repeat and into the solo. Another big fat tone here and nicely done. Out of the solo into the chorus, back into the verse, and then the chorus again and out. Very nice ending.
Yeah.
Good tune. The Stormlands. This one starts off, it's with like a sexy guitar solo. I mean, it's a sultry, sexy, hot, and the drum groove too. I mean, this is a unique track for these guys. You said it's a bit bluesy. It is. It's got that vibe of Town Without Pity. I don't know if you know Montrose's version, but it's got that sexy vibe to it. I would have loved to have heard Tommy Aldrich playing drums on this. Damn, it would have just it would have put this song way over the top.
You don't like Big Dick, Danny? Come on.
Yep. I kicked Big Dick out and put Tommy.
I had to. Oh.
Beautiful solo. The tone was spectacular. Nice outro solo also. I love this song. It was well done and surprised me coming from a semi-metal band. For me, they're just a heavy rock band. I don't really see them as metal.
Yeah, certain songs maybe, but overall,
maybe. Yeah. It's just a rock band to me, a good rock band. Paradise Drive, is that part of it?
Yep, that's the last.
Okay. Got a little drum intro here. Verse is okay, chorus is okay. Rinse and repeat. The solo comes in and it's fat and raw.
Yeah.
This is basically a 1-4-5. I think you said simple rock and roll song, something like that.
50 style, yeah.
50 style. That's what you said. That's what it is. It's a 1-4-5. All over an overall feel good, old fashioned rock and roll song. Exactly what it was a fun song.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
All right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, Slip Away. I feel like Slip Away should have been on the album because it goes really well with the rest of the songs on here. It's great, upbeat, fun, high energy, heavy rock song again. It's just really good. You guys both pretty much said everything. So yeah, it's just
you got some good ideas with song placement on albums.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
This one should have been on there. Like the album's not very long, so it easily could have been fit in there.
Oh yeah, they could have put it on here.
Easily. The other two, not so much. They're good songs, but I don't think they would have really fit as much. But Slip Away goes in there so well. Yeah. Stormlands, you said, it's a bluesy song. It's actually, I like all these bonus tracks. Like Stormlands is actually really good. It's cool to hear something different. It's slow and bluesy, but again, the guitar playing is pretty good, and it's just great. Just a cool, fun, enjoyable song to hear, and just something different than. It's a break from like the really high energy stuff, but it's still a really, really good song. It's really bluesy. Really, really bluesy. And then Paradise Drive. Yeah, it has that 50s rock and roll vibe to it, but it's still a good, fun song. Nothing wrong with it. And it's just pretty much the same thing you guys just highlighted. It's just a good, fun song, and it would have been cool to see all three be on the album, but then that might be pushing it for songs. But for sure, Slip Away should have been included.
Yeah, I agree. Slip Away definitely fit.
Slip Away, I don't know why that got left off, because it feels like a lot of the other songs has that same vibe and the same tone and just everything about it. I can see why the other ones, because they're a little bit too different for this album. But Slip Away is it's it's slipped away. Yeah. But no, it's good bonus tracks. It's cool that you can get them if you're willing to drop the money on the album. But so we'll get into the final two songs we're going to discuss, which would be their cover of Love Potion, number 9, not number 5.
That's 3.
Yeah.
That's 3.
Love Potion. No, it's
it's just Love Potion number 9 and Danger
in Paradise.
Really?
Yeah.
Who the hell did Swords of Tequila?
Oh, I added that on there. Did I? I think I did accidentally add that on there. I noticed that earlier.
I was wondering about that. I was like, why is Riot on here?
I don't know how. I think I was listening to music. I accidentally was listening to that, and I think
wait, hold on.
You two guys backed off.
Did you write anything about Swords and Tequila?
You waste time writing about Swords and Tequila.
Well, I want to know. Did you like it or?
I said very reminiscent of Montrose with Sammy in the Sammy Hagar day. The song is rocking real hard. Nice verse and nice chorus.
Get a Riot ranking now.
We have a British rock and roll. We have a basic rock and roll solo, and at the end, some nice ascending chromatic runs. Good song. Yeah.
Awesome.
There's nothing wrong with that tune. I liked it.
Right. It's a good. Yeah, they're a New York band. That's another.
Oh.
That's giving me an idea. That's
Oh well.
Yeah. Well, they got like 17 albums or something. It's crazy. They're up.
Probably got more. Well, if we count Riot 5, there's probably a bunch.
Yeah, there's a lot. I was thinking of that as being our next band to tackle, but
man, I'd do it.
Be kind of fun. And then so the next ones are going to be so take it to Logan for Love Potion number 9 and Danger in Paradise.
So these two both came off the Cage, which looks like that.
Okay.
Came out in 1982. They got a new guitar player for most of it. Fred Purser is his name. But Sykes plays on both of these tunes, so I think we've kind of whittled it down to Sykes was probably there for some of the recording sessions, and
you know, left it,
he didn't like the sound that they were going towards, and I actually I listened to this album earlier, and I actually like it, but I like commercialized, stuff like that. So, but I'll get into the tracks here. Love Potion number 9. This is a cover of the Clovers' 1959 hit tune, put in a 1980s heavy rock blender. Is pretty much what I wrote down. It's a cool version of the track. I think the video is the best part of it, though, really. With the band playing in front of a judge, and she drinks some love potion, and then she carries John Deverell away by the ear. It's just funny. But it's not. I mean, it's not a great track. I wouldn't say that. But and really, if you listen to this album, it's like track 7. So it's like completely different than anything else on this album. It's like why? Because you got all these like melodic rock kind of tunes, and then this comes on. It's like what?
There's a lot of keyboards on that album and synthesizers. Then that's there. There's none of it on there. It's so weird.
No, there's none. Yeah,
it doesn't even belong on that album. Like it sounds like an outtake from the first 2 albums.
And man, it just makes me so mad that this band. Think about all the great songs they had on the other 2 albums,
and that's their biggest hit.
they didn't push or promote any of them. They didn't make a video.
Number 9 is the one that got pushed and promoted. They made a video for it. It was their hit. It's the one song that everybody knows. It's like,
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't got much more to say. I mean, it's okay. Danger in Paradise, though, I think this is, kind of a holdover from Sykes being in the band. Kind of, this could have been on Crazy Nights, I think. Maybe not without the keyboards, because there's quite a few keyboards on this one, like there is on the rest of the album, like we were talking about. I like the riff on this one. Hook is actually really catchy. A lot more prominent keyboard, like I said, but that's about the same on the rest of it. Some nice backup vocals as well on this track. I think it's cool, that even if Sykes was out by the time this track came out, they still added it to the album. So there must not have been too much, bad blood there or anything. They didn't care to have him still on it. And he's in the video for Love Potion number 9, right? So
yeah.
So, I think the track ends with, some melodic lead playing and Sykes soloing away in the background. You can really hear Sykes at the end of it, mainly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to all of it today, and that was my first listen of the Cage all the way through, but this is still, I would still put this my favorite on the album so far. So, but yeah, that's what I had to say about them 2 tracks.
Nice.
Okay. Well, Love Potion 9. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
But oh my, John takes a quick solo in the intro. The boys keep the same basic arrangement as the original, but when it comes to the solo, John pours on the speed, and it's awesome. Short song, it was okay, and I'm just barely okay. If it wasn't on, it was not listenable as far as I'm concerned. John, I wrote it here. John Solo made the whole thing for me. So, yeah, thank you, John. Danger in Paradise. This one starts off with a morphed sounding chorus on synth. A bit ominous sounding, a nice suspenseful guitar over the top. This song sounds interesting so far. This is a melodic rocker. Once we get into the first verse, and it's good. Great, memorable chorus. This is a commercial sounding song to me. Beautiful double leads after the chorus. Rinse and repeat, and in comes beautiful harmonics, guitar harmonics for the second time. Oh, what's this? They bring down the dynamics and kick in with a bridge that is quite nice. It's very different from the song. Quite nice. Back into the chorus and a beautiful outro with double lead harmonies and a nice outro solo over the top. Great song. I really, really like this song.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So, this is where the embarrassment comes in.
Oh,
maybe due to the popularity of it, but Love Potion number 9 was sadly the first song I heard by them.
Oh my.
Wow.
And then I heard Never Satisfied. I'm like, okay, this is way better. I'm like, what the hell? And then Hellbound maybe. But yeah, Love Potion number 9. I think I saw the video or something. It popped up as like a recommended. But oh my God, that video. The video is better than the song. Yeah, it was always a cheesy song.
Absolutely.
The guitar riff and the solo is what makes it bearable because it's such a stupid, silly song. But it's pretty funny. It's a pretty funny video with they're being on. I guess they're being tried for making loud music. I don't know. And then the judge drinks the love potion, and all of a sudden now she loves John, and she's the singer, John Devereaux, I should say, and she's following him around the rest of the video after that. It's just like, okay, it's really weird. But yeah, and I think Sykes didn't even. I think that's part of the reason why he left is like, okay, well, now you guys are really pushing the covers on us, and of all the songs to cover, like, come on.
Yeah, this bubblegum piece of junk.
It's like we're covering a bubblegum song. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's just a very odd choice, and sadly, it's their most well-known song. Go figure.
Yeah.
And then, no music videos for anything, just that. Like, come on. No one would take them seriously seeing that. That's the issue, right? People would see that and think, oh, this isn't a serious rock band. What is this?
You're right. It would. Yeah.
I think that put the death nail in the coffin for them, sadly. And John leaving probably didn't help.
The only thing that saved that whole song is the solo.
Yeah.
It's just it's a solo. There's nothing else in that song to offer anybody.
No. Yeah, they beefed it up a little bit with the riff, but other than that, like beefed up the riff and the solo. Other than that, and his voice is good on it. It's just they kind of made a crappy song somewhat decent, but you can only change that song so much.
Yeah, you can't really polish a turd.
Yeah.
You know.
Come on, you were playing that in your old cover bands, weren't you?
No, never.
Play Love Potion number 9.
Never.
Never. But then you go from that, and Danger in Paradise, which I think was it the first? Was it the first song on the Cage, or was it the last song on the Cage?
It's second to last, I think.
Second to last. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, this is actually this is so different than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good song. It almost feels like it could have been on and even his voice too, actually, because of his singing on this. It almost feels like Europe, the band Europe. On maybe like it could have been on the Final Countdown, maybe, or kind of has that sound to it because it's very melodic.
It is.
It doesn't have like heavy riffing or anything like that, but it's very melodic. Still got really good guitar playing. Just a good song, a really solid, well constructed, well written song, and really could have fit on like the Europe Final Countdown album or something like that, or maybe even one of their earlier albums. But yeah, it has that sound. His voice does have that. He almost does sound like the singer of Europe, actually. Now that kind of has that sort of singing style too. A lot of these guys kind of had that vocal back then in the early '80s, and so that's what it kind of reminds me of a little bit. But yeah, it's a solid song, and yeah,
it is.
Blows Love Potion number 9 away. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's not mention that anymore, please. That's awful.
Oh, yeah.
Right, you had to play that. No wonder he quit. I mean, I would have too.
That's a bit weird.
It's
Oh, God. Wonder if he had any fans ever approaching him telling him they loved that song. He probably would have to just suck it up and be like, thanks.
I don't know. Of all the songs that have been written in the world.
Yeah. It's one thing, okay, you want them to do a cover, but that one of all the 50s songs that you could have covered, like, come on.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a novelty song.
Yes, it was a novelty song when it came to 59.
Like,
yeah.
Well, and the Cage came out in August of '82, and Thunder and Lightning came out in March of '83. So I'm guessing he was already probably talking to Phil a little bit.
And he was probably already saying, "Get me out of this band. We're playing Love Potion number 9."
Yeah. So I mean, if Phil Lynot's gonna knock on your door and say, "Hey, you want to join Thin Lizzy?" and your band's covering Love Potion number 9, I mean,
they probably had to play that song live too. Can you imagine? Oh God, handing out fake love potions to the crowd.
Oh.
It's a shame, man. Yeah, it kind of did kill their career, really.
Yeah.
Because the album after this one didn't do anything, and Rob Weir ends up leaving actually after this album.
Yeah. So then you had no guitar player left. Like, basically just brought in a bunch of random people at this point, and there's nobody. And then the singer left too, and it's just like, okay.
But I do want to say these last couple they made are really strong. Rob's back in the band, completely different lineup. But I mean, if you like Spellbound and Crazy Nights, it's pretty good stuff. The last album they made, Bloodlines, is one of my favorite albums of 2023 when that came out.
Oh, okay, wow.
I really like that album.
All right. Yeah.
We were pretty much I was a bit worried about the couple tunes that I did about, but
no one said that Love Potion number 9 is their favorite song. So.
We were on pretty much right on the
that's
pretty good.
All right, so that was that was a good one. So it was great. So next week we'll be back for Thin Lizzy, and I guess Danny, you'll be back.
I would love to.
All right, perfect.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna for next week. So it's gonna be a big one. There's gonna be 5 of us here. It's gonna be the 3 of us, and joining us are Daryl Collins, who a lot of followers of channels on here, everyone knows him as DC, and Webb Vandeveer is joining us. So check out for that. It'd be cool to have the 5 of us here and discuss Thunder and Lightning by Thin Lizzy. So that'll be just the one album to discuss that time, and it's 5 of us. So we only have so much time in the day. So it'll be fun for us to discuss that. Great album cover, and yeah, not to give anything too much away, it's probably my favorite thing he's ever recorded. So that's from what I've heard. So yeah, be exciting to get to that, and be fun to go listen to that again, and have an excuse to go listen to that album again. Yeah, be fun. So yeah, we'll see you next week, and thank everybody for watching.